Guys, I got a ring light. It's really off-brand.
The day before President Donald Trump was signing the big, beautiful bill, I got a couple phone calls from people that you would call members of the ruling class. A lot of money and a lot of connections. They said, Charlie, isn't this amazing? We passed the big, beautiful bill. I said, oh, yes, sir. And they said, now we need mass amnesty. What? I said, we haven't even signed the bill yet. They said, yeah, these deportations, we're going to lose the midterms because of the deportations. The people on the right, they'll understand. And we need to come to the middle and we need to legalize the 25 million people here in this country. I was speechless.
So I saw this clip of Charlie Kirk about a month before he died. And this video is not me trying to argue that this clip has anything to do with him passing away. But I found it extremely interesting at the time and barely had any time to really process what he was saying before the next set of huge news came out. But I think it struck me as extremely interesting because there's something not right there. We are 100% being shown how racist this administration is in the brutality of the ICE actions and ICE deportations. But I think his words here point to something that is more of a long-term concern for me, in that I think it's more of a long-term plan for not only this administration, but for our government that does not change seats every 4 years. In my mind, it is horrifying what is happening to people who are going to detention centers, who are being deported, who are being dropped off on the side of the road. It's not right. People from Latin American countries and brown people in general are being discriminated against. But the infrastructure that they are currently building to hold people, and the infrastructure that ICE is currently setting up with its military police coming to a city near you, that concerns not only the people who care about immigrants or just the people who think every human should be treated with dignity. It concerns every single citizen of the United States who might not always be considered the government's little good boy or good girl, because these are not temporary facilities that they are quote-unquote housing people in, when people are dying from medical neglect. Things like diabetes are proving to be life-threatening. These are long-term infrastructure changes at a time when surveillance and control is ramping up with technology and the use of AI.
When we look at ICE and we see the way that this administration has used it to not just, supposedly enforce immigration policy, but also to suppress protests and popular movements that we saw happen in Minnesota. And then we see what they're doing with these detention centers and this massive expansion, right? If these mass jails become a new normal, I guess you're kind of looking at an entrenchment of a permanent mass detention regime.
According to reporting by Pablo Manriquez for Immigrant Insider, quote, a massive Navy contract vehicle, once valued at $10 billion, has ballooned to a staggering $55 billion ceiling to expedite President Donald Trump's mass deportation agenda. The mechanism for this expansion is the Worldwide Expeditionary Multiple Award Contract, originally designed for military logistics abroad.
That's right, folks. These military Navy contracts that were intended for foreign operations are being repurposed for the homeland.
Expeditionary Multiple Award Contract, originally designed for military logistics abroad. In a move to bypass traditional competition delays, the Navy's Supply Systems Command has repurposed the vehicle for Titus, territorial integrity of the United States. This $45 billion increase, published just weeks ago, converts the U.S. into a geographic region for expeditionary military-style detention. It signals a massive, long-term escalation in the government's capacity to pay for detention and deportation logistics. In the world of federal contracting, it's the difference between a temporary surge and a permanent infrastructure.
You can't have mass deportations at that point without mass incarceration, because
Right.
in order to figure out where these people are going, you need a place to keep them, and in the interim, they're going to be in jail. You can't have mass incarceration without a police state, because you need people to go out and grab the people to put them in the jails before you figure out where to put them. So there's just no way to build a deportation machine without building an incarceration machine, and there's no way to build an incarceration machine without building a police state.
And that's not to say it's okay to do it against immigrants. I'm not saying it's okay in that respect. But isn't there also a danger here, like we've seen with ICE, of this then being used in a broader politicized, scary context, even more so than it's being said to be used for?
Absolutely.
The sweeping new detention policy comes days after Congress passed the spending package that will allocate $45 billion over the next 4 years to lock up immigrants for civil deportation proceedings. The measure will allow ICE to roughly double the nation's immigrant detention capacity to 100,000 people a day.
So, Breakthrough News and Due Dissidence are two programs I enjoy and have gained value from. That's Due Dissidence on the Jimmy Dore show. They sometimes sub, and Breakthrough News is its own organization. And the items that they're discussing, I think, point to an entrenchment, a long-term setup, something that goes beyond Trump or anybody that you might currently trust or anybody that you're excited to see leave. These things will still be around, and with millions of dollars a month coming from each facility for these beds, going to each facility for these beds from the government once they're all set up, that is a ton of incentive to not only temporarily incarcerate immigrants, but to create a new, larger system of enforcement. When you need to fill those beds, they will fill those beds. We're having more restrictions on our freedom of speech, on our online activity, on our ability to act anonymously. And every time people push for privacy, they remind us of the worst criminals out there who harm children, and they use them as a shield to say, we can do anything to violate your privacy because these people exist. While also not arresting any of the ones they currently have on like a list somewhere, or, you know, could be gathering a list of. I don't think I'm putting things together that don't belong together. I don't think I'm gathering points that have nothing to do with each other. It's coming to a time, and of course, the mainstream media and people who don't know about it are not going to try to like rev up the masses in some sort of upset. It's nice for things to keep moving smoothly, even if they're moving smoothly into a police state. What's the purpose of living in America if there's no free speech, if there's no freedom of movement, if there's no security, if our opinions don't matter? Both sides of the aisle don't want to go to war. But has that ever stopped a war from happening? And the war seems to be something that's turning inward on ourselves. People are afraid of Israel right now, but I think it's worth taking a good hard look at our own government too. It's plenty to be upset with there, even without Israel, and with the addition of Israel in the tech sector, plenty more to be upset about. Homeland security seems to be more about securing every single person in the homeland so that their leaders can walk all over them.
The H2A business, that one guy in North Carolina who started out this rental worker business, lots of people copied his business model. So there is now enough of a rental H2A worker business to really replace undocumented workers. And that's where a lot of the shady business happens, is the contractors will, charge people recruiting fees, which you're not supposed to do. So like, give me $2,000 so I can do the paperwork for you. Not supposed to do that. Take their passports so they can't leave. Give them a lot of nonsense about how what we're doing is fine. Don't call the police. Don't call the DOJ or
but some form of soft amnesty. And I can tell you now, through other reporting that I've been able to do and phone calls, there is a major push right now to do a bipartisan amnesty deal, a major push. People are trying to push the president, hey, you got the money for ICE, now we need to go move to the middle on immigration. Play cut 258.
People have worked for on a farm for 14, 15 years, and they get thrown out pretty viciously, and we can't do it. We got to work with the farmers and people that have hotels and leisure properties too. We're going to work with them, and we're going to work very strong and smart, and we're going to put you in charge. We're going to make you responsible. And I think that that's going to make a lot of people happy. Now, serious radical right people, who I also happen to like a lot, they may not be quite as happy, but they'll understand, won't they? You think they'll understand that? You're the one that brought this whole situation up. Brooke Rollins brought it up, and she said, so we have a little problem. The farmers are losing a lot of people, and we figured it out.
So this video has taken a little time to put together, and I would like to thank all of the sources that I used. I'd like to thank Charlie Kirk for giving the scoop he received from high places, Due Dissidents, Breakthrough News, Misha Miller, and Farm to Tabor on YouTube for their incredible independent journalism. Check each of those accounts out. And to Migrant Insider, subscribe. They're on Substack. You can subscribe to the newsletter to come right to your email, and that's some good information. And thank you for listening. If you want to give a like, that would be nice, and subscribe if you want to.